Peace be upon you, beloved brothers and sisters. Today, I'm excited to delve into Sahih Al Bukhari, episode 16, focusing on Hadiths 1 to 7 from the Book of Ablutions, Wudu. Let's embark on this enlightening journey together. Chapter No Salat prayer is accepted without ablution. Narrated Abu Huraira, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, "The prayer of a person who does hadath, passes urine, stool or wind, is not accepted till he performs the ablution." A person from Hadramut asked Abu Huraira, "What is hadath?" Abu Huraira replied, "Hadath means the passing of wind." Reference, Sahih Al Bukhari, 135, in book. Reference, Book 4, Hadith 1. Chapter The Superiority of Ablution and Al-Gurul Muhajjalun, the parts of the body of the Muslims washed in ablution will shine on the day of resurrection, and the angels will call them by that name. From the traces of ablution. Narrated Nu'am al-Mujmir, "Once I went up the roof of the mosque along with Abu Huraira. He performed ablution and said, I heard the Prophet, peace be upon him, saying, on the day of resurrection, my followers will be called Al-Gurul Muhajjalun, from the trace of ablution, and whoever can increase the area of his radiance should do so, i.e. by performing ablution regularly." Reference, Sahih Al Bukhari, 136, in book. Reference, Book 4, Hadith 2. Chapter, one should not repeat ablution if in doubt unless and until he is convinced that he has lost his ablution by having hadath. Narrated Abad bin Tamim, "My uncle asked Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, about a person who imagined to have passed wind during the prayer. Allah's Apostle replied, he should not leave his prayers unless he hears sound or smells something." Reference, Sahih Al Bukhari, 137, in book. Reference, Book 4, Hadith 3. Chapter To Perform a Light Ablution. Narrated Quraib. Ibn Abbas said, "The Prophet, peace be upon him, slept till he snored and then prayed, or probably lay till his breath sounds were heard and then got up and prayed." Ibn Abbas added, "I stayed overnight in the house of my aunt Maimuna. The Prophet, peace be upon him, slept for a part of the night." See Fath al-Bari, page 249, volume 1. "And late in the night, he got up and performed ablution from a hanging water skin, a light, perfect ablution, and stood up for the prayer. I too performed a similar ablution, then I went and stood on his left. He drew me to his right and prayed as much as Allah wished, and again lay and slept till his breath sounds were heard. Later on, the Mu'adhin, call-maker for the prayer, came to him and informed him that it was time for prayer. The Prophet, peace be upon him, went with him for the prayer without performing a new ablution. Sufyan said to Amr that some people said the eyes of Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, sleep, but his heart does not sleep. Amr replied, I heard Ubayd bin Umar saying that the dreams of prophets were divine inspiration. And then he recited the verse, I, Abraham, see in a dream, O my son, that I offer you in sacrifice to Allah. 37-102. See Hadith number 183. Reference, Sahih Al Bukhari, 138, in book. Reference, Book 4, Hadith 4. Chapter, the completion or perfection of ablution. One should wash all the parts perfectly. Narrated Usama bin Zaid, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, proceeded from Arafat till when he reached the mountain pass. He dismounted, urinated, and then performed ablution, but not a perfect one. I said to him, is it the time for the prayer, O Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him? he said, "The place of prayer is ahead of you." He rode till, when he reached Al-Muzdalifah, he dismounted and performed ablution, and a perfect one. The call for Iqama was pronounced, and he led the Maghrib prayer. Then everybody made his camel kneel down at its place. Then the Iqama was pronounced for the Isha prayer, which the Prophet, peace be upon him, led, and no prayer was offered in between the two prayers, Isha and Maghrib. Reference Sahih Al Bukhari 139 in book. Reference Book 4 Hadith 5. Chapter To wash the face with both hands by a handful of water. Narrated Atta bin Yasar, Ibn Abbas performed ablution and washed his face in the following way. He ladled out a handful of water, rinsed his mouth, and washed his nose with it by putting in water and then blowing it out. He then took another handful of water and did like this, gesturing, joining both hands, and washed his face. Took another handful of water and washed his right forearm. He again took another handful of water and washed his left forearm, and passed wet hands over his head, and took another handful of water and poured it over his right foot, up to his ankles, and washed it thoroughly, and similarly took another handful of water and washed thoroughly his left foot up to the ankles, and said, "I saw Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, performing ablution in this way." Reference Sahih Al Bukhari 140 in book. Reference Book 4 Hadith 6. Chapter To recite in the name of Allah during every action and on having sexual relations with one's wife. Narrated Ibn Abbas, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "If any one of you on having sexual relations with his wife said," and he must say it before starting, "In the name of Allah, O Allah, protect us from Satan, and also protect what you bestow upon us, i.e. the coming offspring, from Satan. And if it is destined that they should have a child, then Satan will never be able to harm that offspring." Reference Sahih Al Bukhari 141 in book. Reference Book 4 Hadith 7.
Please do not forget, comment, like, and subscribe. Spread the love, keep the message alive. Sahih Hadith in English, let's all come together. Thanks for watching, let's make the world better.